A new teaser trailer was shared for Animula Nook, plus an opportunity to try this upcoming cozy game early was announced. All this and more today. Hello friends, Sarah Sunstone here, bringing you the latest gaming news with Sunnyside Up. Today is February 4th, 2026. Animula Nook is an upcoming life simulation game where you shrink down into a cozy miniature world and live among giant everyday objects, set to release sometime in 2026. But guess what? You'll actually have a chance to try the game early, according to the team's latest announcement. Be sure to shine that lovely like button if you're excited for Animula Nook, and make sure to subscribe to my channel with your notifications on so you don't miss out. Otherwise, without any further ado, let's get right into it. That's right, an alpha test was announced for the game with signups available now. So if you're interested in getting a chance to try out the gameplay ahead of launch, definitely think about signing up on the game's official website. But before you do, here are a few things you should know. First of all, this is going to be a limited data wipe alpha test with in-game purchases disabled. So limited means that participation will be limited to a fixed number of players. And because it's a data wipe test, that means all game data, including accounts, characters, progress, and items, will be cleared after the test ends. For this test, they'll be inviting players via Steam on PC only, but you'll be among the first residents to shrink down together into Minitopia, discovering small wonders in every corner and helping the tiny world grow into a warm, story-filled home. The game will be releasing onto other platforms for the full version, but for this test, it is limited to Steam on PC only. This test also only supports login via Facebook or Google accounts, interestingly. So if you previously pre-registered on the Animula Nook website using X or Twitter or Apple, you must now log in again using Facebook or Google, reconfirm your pre-registration, and fill in the survey. Otherwise, you will not be able to obtain alpha test access. They do apologize for any inconvenience this may cause, but that is definitely good to know. If you do get access to the test, your account will be tied to the very first PC you use to log into the game. Unbinding or switching devices is not supported. So the team said to please decide on your primary testing device before installing and logging in for the first time. There will also be a minimum specs check that will be required for this alpha test, and any devices below the threshold will be unable to launch the game. So the team requests that you review the recommended specs that they've provided to ensure your PC meets the requirements before applying. And also, since optimization is still in progress, they do strongly recommend using a PC that meets or exceeds the recommended specs rather than the minimum specs to ensure a smoother experience. For this test, the supported languages will be English, traditional Chinese, Japanese, and Korean. And this alpha test supports keyboard and mouse only. But they do plan to adapt to more platforms and input methods in the future, so please stay tuned. Now, once recruitment ends, invitations will be sent out via email in batches, which will include a Steam key for the test. To reiterate, you can sign up now, but no end date for signups or timeline for the test has been given just yet. However, the team did share it will be announced soon. Now, this next bit is just speculation, but on one of their official socials, the team posted, "With the arrival of spring, a new way of living awaits you," in association with this test. So perhaps it could be targeting sometime in March, around the beginning of the spring season. Although they haven't confirmed specific details about which elements of gameplay will be available in this test, they did offer us this description, which reads, "DIY with things around you, or grow a flower field so vast you have to look up to see it all. Dress up in your favorite clothes to express your true self, and enjoy the best party ever with friends. Always together, heartwarming days." So I feel like this gives us the idea that you'll be able to craft things, garden, dress up your character, probably customize it as well, and enjoy some of those social moments with the NPCs, but also in multiplayer. They did confirm that, so the alpha test will support multiplayer co-op. So you can explore Minitopia with your friends anytime, granted that you both get access to the test. While I believe that these are the main highlights and important points from the information provided for this upcoming alpha test, I will link link the full FAQ down in the description for your reference, so you can revisit that information and read even further about the details. Now, like I said, with this announcement came a new, beautiful, adorable teaser trailer, and I wanted to point out a few details from this trailer, which I thought really set the tone for this upcoming test. So while the trailer is short and sweet, we do get to see the customizable player character here, who is on the bus to Lily Village, apparently. And along her way, she meets some of the NPCs and actually passes through many different regions that we'll be able to visit in the game. So in the first scene, she's here with Meowrio. Yes, that's the name of this cat. Meowrio is a Stardust merchant who is easily recognized by his bright yellow hat and piercing golden eyes. Apparently, he is a logistics master, dependable, friendly, and warm-hearted. He spends his time helping out his brother and is also always happy to offer a helping paw to any mini in need. We're also here with our Whoopacat, so you're going to be able to have a Whoopacat in this game. It's like your little cuddly companion that appears to be somewhat customizable, but it also acts as your glider, which is kind of interesting. You can hang by its tail to glide down from great heights. You'll also notice that in each of these frames, the interior of the bus changes, as does the scene in the background. So in this frame, it looks like the Starside homestead is actually in the background, so that's where we start our journey, and where we'll be able to set up our house. And it looks like houses for the NPCs too. Build, decorate, all that fun stuff. The next NPC we meet is the Baker Mini. Very fittingly, we're surrounded by fruits and vegetables and other foods. And then in the background, we can also see that scene from the original trailer where we get to explore a tabletop that's covered in different dishes and foods, and it looks super fun. Then here we meet Kai, who is the owner of the tailor shop in Woorooville, with a love for pastoral style and a sharp eye for color. Apparently, every garment in her shop is lovingly handcrafted, offering beautiful designs at affordable prices. So in this trailer alone, we've met 2 different shopkeepers, though if Kai is in charge of the clothing, I will definitely be paying her lots of visits. And I love all the details here of the giant yarn balls, which, as a reminder, all of these things that look giant are actually just normal size. It's just we're very small, we've shrunk down. So I love that fresh perspective. In the background here, it looks like this could be Woorooville. That would also make sense, given the fact that Kai is here. It could be more specifically the Whoopa Woods, but it does look very green and lush. Then along our journey, we meet Miss Rolland and an unintroduced NPC. But Miss Rolland is a devoted teacher who's always saying just 5 more minutes, with chalk in hand and lesson plans at the ready. She might get a little chatty now and then, but deep down, she truly believes you're the best class she's ever taught. So I thought this was interesting that there's a teacher NPC. I'm not sure if that would lend itself to our gameplay in any regard, but it's definitely a fun character. And she certainly is giving those teacher vibes. Perhaps this other NPC is also a teacher, or maybe just one of her friends or family members. We'll have to stay tuned to find out, but I love all the little bits of stationery scattered around us in this frame here. And then in the background, we can see the Floral Sea, which is also located in Woorooville. Then finally, on our journey, we're here with Dilly. Dilly is an eager intern who dreams of joining the Starside. She's memorized every page of the Star Officer exam materials by heart. But unfortunately, everyone only seems to notice her awkward slip-ups in public, overlooking the countless nights of effort she's poured into behind the scenes. But of course, to judge a book by its cover, that's its own kind of slip-up. That's her description. She seems so sweet. She seems like she's in charge of a lot of the local events and festivities and organization. It seems like she might be one of the core NPCs that she'll be going back to for quests. That's just speculation, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting both from her character and then also what we've seen in the trailers. And then here we're seeing an all-new NPC that looks very much like an owl. And in the background, apparently this is Lily Village, which is a location we haven't seen in any of the trailers. So maybe this owl is a resident of Lily Village. And I would be very curious to know what this map would offer us in our gameplay. I mean, I'm curious to learn more about all the different maps, but we haven't seen this one at all in the gameplay footage, so I'm very curious about this one. Now, as a reminder, Animula Nook will be releasing sometime this year in 2026 for PC, Nintendo Switch 2, and PlayStation 5. But again, that upcoming alpha test is available on PC via Steam. So there you have it, friends. That's the latest news for Animula Nook. I am so excited that the team is offering this opportunity for players to try out the game, both to receive player feedback and also so we can get a bit of a look at what the gameplay is like beyond the initial trailers that they've shared with us. Definitely let me know down in the comments if you're going to be signing up for this playtest to get a chance to try out the game, or if you'd prefer to just wait until the full release. Anything and everything, you know I always love hearing from you. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. And until next time, take care.